Today, I want to talk to you about the ghost of regret. Regret. When you hear that word regret, what does that mean to you? Regret is feeling sorry or sad about something that you should have done or you would have done, but for whatever reason, you didn't do it. It could be fear, it could be doubt, it could be lack of support, whatever, because all of us come up with our own reason as to why we will or will not do something. And I want to help change that for you. Dolores Jones, your comeback coach, is my name. And I am simply here to show you how to bounce back better, not bitter, through life experiences and bad decisions, honey. It's a tough time out there. But you know what they say. When times get tough, the tough keep going, honey. Okay. So the goal today is to simply give you some tools so that you won't sit around like I did the other day and thinking about all of the woulda, coulda, shouldas in my life. And usually sometimes that's the worst feeling. You know, sometimes you can get sick and so many other things can happen in your life. But one of the hardest things is to accept that there was something you could have done, but you chose not to do based on somebody else's opinion of you, based on the fact that someone discouraged you, maybe old tapes in your head. Maybe you just were afraid and maybe you just thought, I don't know if I can really do this by myself. So we're going to start out with a poem or a portion of a poem called Somebody Said It Couldn't Be Done. And I think my grandmother introduced me to this poem many years ago. Okay. Many years ago. And so it goes a little something like this. Somebody said that it couldn't be done, but he with a chuckle replied that maybe it couldn't, but he would be one who wouldn't say so till he tried. So he buckled right in with a grin on his face. If he worried, he hid it. He started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. That's worth repeating, okay? That's worth repeating. So if you're just now joining me, Dolores Jones, your comeback coach, I am here to help you bounce back better, not bitter, and to make sense of some things, honey, because some things are going on and we just don't really know what to do. You know, can I be honest with y'all? Let me tell you what happened. Earlier this morning, I was sitting at the end of my bed and I said, God, I just want to throw up. And it wasn't because I had bad food. It was because I was struggling with the ghost of regret. And I said, well, why do I want to throw up? It's because there's a point where you get to a certain level. And see, you've mastered all the other ones. But to go to this next level, it's going to require gumption. It's going to require courage, which is the ability to do something that is difficult. It's going to require resilience, which is your ability to recover. In other words, to bounce back easily from misfortune or change. And I said, God, I just want to throw up. It's like in the pit of my stomach, I know that I'm destined for greatness, but somewhere there is a disconnect. And part of the disconnect, I said, well, what is the big thing? What's the big deal? Well, how do I do it? Do I have the tools to do it? Because at every level, you're going to have another skill, right? And so, but here's the thing. The people that you admire most, they've learned or they've developed that particular skill. Courage is a skill you can develop. Resilience is a skill that you must develop because you have to understand life is going to come with twists and turns. And so therefore, I am addressing the ghost of regret because that's the thing that's going to die with you. That's what you're going to take with you. I mean, you can't take that car. You can't take that man. You can't take your boo. You can't take any of that, but you can take regret. Hey there, good vibes. All right. So the poem says, somebody said it couldn't be done. And that's Edgar Guess. Somebody said it couldn't be done. But he with a chuckle replied that maybe it couldn't be done. He would be one who wouldn't say so till he tried. So he buckled right in with a grin on his face. If he worried, he hid it. He started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. A lot of our regret comes from the fact that maybe we think we can't, or we say we can't. And because we think we can and we say we can't, we don't even try. Have you ever, give me a 1 in the comments if you've ever told yourself, I can't do that. And then you looked up and you did it anyway. Sometimes you did it hard. Sometimes you did it kicking and screaming. Sometimes you didn't want to do it, but somebody pushed you to do it because they knew you had to do it. So give me a 1 in the comment if that has ever happened to you. You're going to need that courage. Remember, I just said courage is the ability. It is the ability to do something that is difficult or dangerous. Sometimes just waking up in the morning is difficult and dangerous, depending upon where you live, depending upon what's going on in your household. But you do it anyway. Resilience is the ability to recover, because there's a war going on out there. But the ability to recover and adjust and adapt to misfortune and change, and then bounce back. That's why I often tell you we're going to bounce back better, not bitter, through life experiences and bad decisions. If I don't know anything else, I know how to bounce back. I bounced back from the death of my mother when she was 21 years old. I just read an article that was written back in 1976 of a 21-year-old who died of a heroin overdose. That was my mother, Marianne Jones. I bounced back from being taunted and teased and called ugly and having kids, want to fight me for just no apparent reason, just because they could. I bounced back from coming home one day and there was no water and no lights in our home because, back when crack entered the community, it hit our home as well. And so I didn't have water and lights at the age of 17. I'm living in an abandoned home, no water, no lights. I can't hit the hot spots, ladies. People are taunting me. I still had a dream. I want to be like Oprah, but I couldn't go away to like the major universities or the historically Black universities, but I could go to school. And that's what I had to learn. And so I got my happy hips up and I went to Donnelly College, which was right there in my neighborhood. I caught the Metro bus, honey, 2 hours early so that I could get to the bathroom and wash my face, comb my hair, sing my song, and quote my scripture like my great grandmother had taught me. And there were times I stayed until the school was closed because I had to get my homework done. See, when it's something you really, really want, no excuse is going to do. You're going to make it happen, as Stedman Graham says. He has a book called You Can Make It Happen. You can make it happen. Just like you decide you're going to stay in that bed, you can decide to get up. Now, sometimes it may be tougher. It may be rough for you. But at the end, you're going to do it. Let me strap up, y'all. Let me strap up in my, because I'm headed to take myself to lunch. Okay. All right now. Hold on. As I'm doing this, y'all do this for me. As I'm doing that, y'all do this for me. Go ahead and hit subscribe on my YouTube channel, which is Dolores Jones TV. I really appreciate that if you do that for me. Okay, Dolores Jones TV. And share the video. I'm looking for the ones in the comments. If you can relate to this conversation that I'm having with you right now, I need you to hit the 1. Put the number 1 in there, like 1. I hear you, Jones. I hear you. We are talking about the ghost of regret, the woulda, coulda, shoulda. I should have went back to school, or I could have gone back to school, or I should have went for my dream, or I should have taken that acting class, or I should have. See, but let me give you a secret. You know what are our biggest problems? You ready for this? One of our biggest problems is comparison. Now check this out. We, maybe you, all right, I hear you, girl, okay. We judge 90% of our life based on 10% of somebody else's life on social media. That whole comparison thing. I've done it. Have you ever you was just having a good day and you said, well, let me see what's going on Facebook. Let me see what's going on Instagram. And then by the time you finish scrolling through other people's business, now you're depressed, you're upset, you're frustrated. You're pissed off. It's a plethora of things that's going on. And you was like, dang. But then here's the crazy part, because I've done it before. I'm guilty of it. I'll just stay on social media. And it's like, you do know you're doing this to yourself, right? Because there are things that you're doing to yourself. Nobody else is doing this to you. Nobody's putting a gun to your head saying, you need to go on social media for 8 hours. And you know why some of us do it? Because we don't want to do what we should be doing. It's called avoidance. And that's a survival tactic. If I say that I'm busy and sometimes you're busy doing a whole lot of nothing, then you can say, well, I didn't have time to do that. Or I didn't have time to go back to school. I didn't have time to. And you got all kind of time, honey. COVID made sure you had a lot of time. So you can look at it as a distraction, or you can look at it as a discovery period in your life. COVID. I used to feel like I was being left behind, and then COVID hit and it was like, Dolores, ain't nobody going nowhere. So, if you're going to get with it. Well, I don't know if I have money to travel to do a speaking engagement. Baby, they ain't doing any traveling, baby. They're doing viral training. So what's your excuse now? Y'all know what happened? We come out and our excuses don't work anymore. So then what do? We run and hide. And then when the lights are back on, now we mad. I'm mad at you. I'm jealous about that. How could you do this to me? All this other foolishness. And here's the thing. We all have the same amount of hours each day. 24 hours is what makes up a day. The difference is what you do with your 24 and what I do with my 24. All right? Self-discipline. That's important. Consistency. Perseverance. And as I was telling you all, if I don't know anything else, I know how to bounce back better, not bitter. I know how to do that. Baby, when I went to that community college and did homework by candlelight and stayed at school until the library closed my first semester, I had a 4.0 GPA, which is as high as you can go, became a presidential scholar, and paid the rest of my tuition based upon my ability to understand information and concepts. And I became a tutor. Because remember, I always tell you, just because you're struggling don't mean you're stupid. So stop judging yourself like that. Then I went on to the #1 journalism school. I didn't even know what you needed to have your own apartment, babies. I didn't know you needed a deposit. What is that? But I went anyway. And sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to show up anyway. Because sometimes, like they say, jump and grow your wings flying down. That's what they mean. Denzel Washington said it like this. He said, if you hang around a barber shop long enough, somebody is going to give you a haircut. In other words, as long as you're in as long as you're in the vicinity, as long as you're in the place, as long as you are close to what it is you say you want, eventually you're going to get a break. Now, people talk about people who are sitting on a corner, with these signs, and some of them, that's all they got. So let's not judge. Because one day, baby, let me tell y'all something, Carlton. One day, I was sitting at Quick Trip, and I didn't have any money. I said, well, Lord, you know what? Maybe I'll just ask somebody for some gas money. Because sometimes that's what you feel. Sometimes when you hit rock bottom, there are certain things that pride, you can't deal with it. You just like, I'm just going to ask. Thankfully, I didn't have to, but it wasn't beneath me, because why? Everybody needs some help. And that's why some people, they refuse to ask for help. And that's why they're sitting in that situation right now. You can struggle, but you don't have to suffer. Adversity. One writer said it like this: adversity introduces a man or a woman to himself. You have done countless things that you didn't believe you could do. You have practiced and shown courage in some of the most dire situations in your life. And people have asked you, how'd you do that? How'd you get back up from that, Dolores Jones? You got divorced, girl. You was in the hospital. Your husband hit you in your mouth. We can't even tell that he hit you in your mouth. And you was fighting back like hell, Dolores Jones. You got evicted this many times, Dolores. How are you able to still get back up from that? Well, honestly speaking, my hope is built on nothing less. I go to the rock. I have a solid foundation and a spiritual relationship with the divine. That is one of the reasons. That is the most important reason I'm able to get back up, because God said I could. And every time I think negatively, there is a scripture or a story or a principle that counteracts the negative. So like this morning when I was laying there talking about, Lord, I just want to throw up. I was sick from the ghosts of regret. I said, well, guess what? This ain't how you ain't gonna change nothing sitting here wanting to throw up. So I did what I know to do. I found some motivational information. That's what does it for Dolores. I said, I need to hear a story. I need to hear somebody's story. I need to hear somebody's story, how they overcame. I got to hear it. I got to hear it. And you know, at this time, it wasn't just Les Brown. There were so many other people out there. I went to TED Talks. Do you know what TED Talks is? They give people 15 minutes to tell you things that will change the course of your life, that will cause you to pivot. But if you don't make yourself available for the information, it's just out there. So you can't say you don't know how to do it. So I was like, okay, Dolores, get your notebook. You know what you need to do. You need to take notes. They say, a friend of mine, Trevor Otts, he says, note takers are money makers. You know, because you can only retain so much in your memory. So if it's important to you, you need to write it down. Like some of the stuff I'm talking to you about, you need to write it down. And you can pause this video when the replay is on and get what you need to get. Just get what you need to get. You don't have to get everything. Get what you need to get to go to the next level of where you choose to be. So this morning I said, you know what, Dolores Jones, you know how if you just try to stay in the bed so it'll disappear, it ain't going to disappear, baby. Purpose is going to call your name. Purpose is pushing and pulling me towards my destiny. Purpose is pushing and pulling you towards your destiny, right? So pushing to say, get out there, girl. And you're like, I changed my mind. I don't want my dream. I don't want to do that anymore. And then it's pulling you saying, you'll never be the same. You'll never be fulfilled. You'll never be happy until you do that which you are meant to do. Even if you do it on a smaller scale. And I would be lying to y'all if I said, you know, I'm not supposed to be on a stage motivating people. I'm not supposed to be on TV. I'm not supposed to do courses. I know I'm lying to myself. And sometimes, listen, sometimes our own college degrees rob us of our destiny. Let me tell you why. Because when we get a degree, sometimes we pigeonhole ourselves. We pigeonhole ourselves into believing that what the degree has prepared us for is what the degree has prepared us for is that which God has for us. And that is so not true. Purpose has nothing to do with your diploma. It's like what Chadwick Boseman said. He said, you know, your grade is not an indication of what you're capable of. However, we buy into the lie. And depending upon where you sit, what your skin tone is, what part of the world you belong, you are strapped with that, and you decide to quit. But there's so many people who didn't quit without a college degree. I can name several of them: Steve Harvey, Tyler Perry, and he's now a billionaire. Les Brown. He was considered educable, mentally retarded. And now he is the motivator all over the world. He could make at least $200,000 and something just stepping on the stage, and they're going to give it to him. Why? Because he's Baby Brown's baby boy, and he tells his story over and over again, and he tells it with such conviction that I keep going back. I just want to hear it over and over again. There's a young man who watches my videos, and there's one I talk about where I sang with Toni Braxton. And so he's like, Miss Dolores, every day I get up, I listen to that. I listened to your video about how you stood up and you were chosen by Toni Braxton. Now I'm thinking, well, there's a whole lot of videos out there. He's like, I don't care about the other ones. This one is what I need. So you have to be intentional. You have to say, this one is what I need. This is the video. Lord, this is the message. Talk me through it. Walk me through it. And it's okay if you throw up. You can just wipe your mouth off. But I wanted to be very vulnerable with you today. Because sometimes you see people and they look like they have it together, but you don't really know the backstory. It's when I was doing TV and I still do television, and I go to the studio, you know, what you all see is just a caption of what it looks like. You don't see all of the wires on the backside. You don't see the television cameras. You don't see the fact that really they're not looking at you. They're looking at a camera, and they have to make it so convincing that you believe they're talking to you. You don't see the hot beam lights coming over my head making me feel like I'm about to melt away like chocolate. You don't feel the heart palpitations. You don't see the nervousness or the leg that's shaking like this. You don't see any of that. What you see is the product. That's right, Carlton said we just see a pretty face. But behind that pretty face is pain. Behind that pretty face is perseverance. Behind that pretty face is the ability to make a decision and a choice. Now, some of you already know I made one of the hardest I've had to do one of the hardest things I've ever dealt with recently. My uncle, my superhero, my bigger than life person. He was bigger than life to me. My Uncle Mikey passed away on January 9th, 4 days after his 69th birthday. I didn't see it coming. And sometimes it's harder when you don't see it coming. But it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt any less. I just didn't see it coming. I did not see it coming. And I didn't see that it was going to take me to my knees. I didn't know that seeing my uncle on a gurney, frozen or cold, looking like himself, that I was going to be the one who couldn't walk up to him. See, I'm the strong one. And that's what we tell ourselves. I'm the strong one. What you mean? I'm the strong one. But I wasn't so strong. And in fact, after I saw my uncle like that, I couldn't even go to work. I had to take the whole week off. I said, no. Let me just tell y'all this. And I didn't want to say I can't do it. But the reality is there's a time you have to take care of yourself. You can't help anybody if you're dead. And they often say this analogy. They said if you're on an airplane and the air starts to leave, they say put your mask on first. Why? Because if you dead, you can't help the children. But some of us are so prone to thinking about everybody else first. So therefore we burn ourselves out and we live with the ghost of regret. Man, I would have done it, but I had to take care of so-and-so. I kept giving my money away to so-and-so. Now, when you're giving your money away to capable people who are just as capable as you are, that's on you. God told me no. God didn't tell you to give all your stuff away. He didn't do that. And some of us have given parts of the best part of our lives away. Why? Because of mistakes, because of relationship choices that we didn't want to make, but we did. Maybe because of a religious dogma. And I can speak to all of that, boo. I can speak to all of that. But I have decided regret will not be my end story. Where's the wealthiest place on the planet? That's what Dr. Miles Monroe asked. And they said, it's the graveyard. It's the cemetery. Because there, people die with their gifts inside of them. Why? Because so-and-so would, You got to be like Lisa Nichols. She said, baby, don't ask for permission, serve notice. I said, amen. Dolores, yes. You want to throw up? Yes. Okay. Now let's accept that. You want to throw up because you're out of your element. I'm calling you to another level. And you talked about it, but now it's time to be about it. And you're laying here and you're freaking out and you really need to have help. You need to ask somebody to come and help you organize. You need to have somebody come and get all these clothes that you don't need, because I had a tendency to just ball up in the bed and be like, hey, I'll holler at y'all in a couple of days. But you can't do that and be a winner. What would happen if Muhammad Ali had got in a fight and they knocked him down? He said, hey, I'm going to holler at y'all 2 years from now. You don't get to do that. You got to have resilience. You got to know how to take a licking and keep on ticking. A lot of people are upset, like who's that? What's the guy's name? Patrick Mahomes. They're going to play tomorrow. That young man is about 20-something years old and he will never have to work another day in his life. His contract is worth millions. Well, I don't know why he would do that. Well, he know how to take a hit. See, some of us don't know how to take a hit. You put me out on the football field, I'm going to call for my mama. I'll be like, Mama, come and get me. See, some people punk out, but you want to be upset when somebody else is making the money. You don't want to do the long hours. You don't want to work through the sweat and tears, but you want the reward. It don't work like that. That's why when somebody get in your face trying to tell you what you can't be or what you can't do, you need to slap them. Slap the taste out of their mouth. What do you need to get a comeback? What do you need to do? I decided, Dolores Jones, when you go to sleep, you got to go to sleep pretty. Now, what I mean by that, you ain't got to have makeup on. But baby girl, when you look in the mirror, you got to be able to see your natural beauty. You can't have your hair in no pigtails. Y'all know, ladies, sometimes we be like, I'm just going to put this hair on. And you wake up and you don't look the same. Because you got your hair in pigtails and ponytails underneath there. If you going to do that, make sure whatever's up under there looks as good as what you have on. Because I can look at my pictures and go, girl, you a bad man with jammer. But one time I walked past the mirror and I thought I was a doggone sumo wrestler. I was like, you can't have no more cookies. You can't have no more cookies, girl. You looking like a doggone sumo wrestler. I told my sister, I said, girl, I walked past the mirror naked and I thought I was a sumo wrestler and I had a thong on. Come on, y'all. You got to learn to laugh at yourself. It was the truth. It was the truth, Tamara. It was the truth. And I said, what you got to do? I got to put down these bagels in the name of Jesus. I got to stop sleeping with these Snicker bars and these Twix and these Oreo cookies. They made them real thin, but I went and bought the whole pack and ate the whole pack. Why? Because they was too thin. Baby, you know you need to drink your water and your smoothies, your apple cider vinegar and your lemon. And if you want to keep looking like a sumo wrestler in the mirror, then keep doing what you're doing. But if you don't, Dolores Jones, get your happy hips up, get up and start dancing. Like tonight, I got to go dancing with my friend Sally. Get back on them roller skates. Now get yourself up. I said, okay. Now what you going to do today? I said, it's restaurant week here in KC Restaurant Week. That means some of these high-end restaurants, you can go eat for $15. Now they in your budget. I said, okay, I got 2 more days. So I'm on my way. I made an appointment to go to McCormick and Schmick on the plaza. They said, you need a reservation? I said, a reservation for 1. Okay, ma'am, we'll see you at 2. I said, all right. I said, okay, what am I going to hit up for lunch, for dinner? And then tomorrow, who am I going to hit up for lunch? Because I'm not going to let this restaurant week pass me by yet again because I'm in my feelings. Dolores Jones, your comeback coach, is my name. I show you how to bounce back better, not bitter, through life experiences and bad decisions. You got to get your comeback, baby. And how I do that is through videos, through conversations, through books. So if you would be so kind as to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Dolores Jones TV, you'll hear more of me. Facebook, y'all always with me. I love y'all Facebook. Maybe we can just have a picnic together. Instagram, I hear you. I see you. And sometimes, you know what? In order to avoid the ghosts of regret, you just got to take small steps. You got to read. I love biographies. You know why I love biographies? Because it tells me about the struggle and the triumph of people that I admire. Cicely Tyson. Cicely Tyson was a clerk typist. And she was just chilling until she went to somebody's 25-year retirement party. And they handed that person a watch. And Cicely Tyson said she went back to her desk. She cleaned her desk out and said, I'm not going to sit here for 25 years for a watch. And she became a model, and then she became an actress. Same way with Morgan Freeman. He was a clerk typist. And y'all know unemployment is the same way. You got to go try to find a job. And so Morgan Freeman, they gave him a little stamp. You had to get your thing stamped in order to keep getting your money. You got to show up and do something. And so he said he just got tired of being a clerk typist. He said, I am not a clerk typist. I am an actor. So he decided to go talk to the supervisor. And she said, hello, Mr. Freeman. He said, I am tired of you all making me do something and be something I am not. I am an actor. So the lady said, okay. She took her little stamp and she said, you got 6 months. Now go be an actor. She didn't say, now go try to be an actor. She said, go be an actor. And y'all know what? He's an actor. And he's a bad actor. There's only one Morgan Freeman, just like there's only one you, just like there's only one Dolores Mae Jones, often imitated, but never duplicated. You better come on, someone. Ski weed to my sisters. Okay, happy Founders Day from yesterday. You got to bet on you. You got to count on you. The ghosts of regret, that's what they want to do. They want to hover over your bed. They just want to hover over your bed, hover over your bed, hover over your bed. And, when I was sick with COVID, let me tell y'all this. I was sick with COVID. Last year, 2020, listen, babies, March, I fell and missed 7 steps. I dislocated my right ankle, broke my right leg, had emergency surgery, was under doctor's care from March, and I was getting released on October 1st. But then on September 28th, I tested positive for COVID. I was sick as a dog. Sick as a dog. And I'm in this house by myself 14 days. Hardly could move. People wouldn't come in. They were just laying stuff, out on the step on my car. And I appreciated that. But I had to get up and I had an oxygen tank. I still got the oxygen tanks. They're empty. But I had 2 oxygen tanks, y'all. I'm sitting there like, oh God. And the hard part was knowing, you know what, devil, you're not going to do this to me. The hard part was knowing that I wasn't doing my best. The hard part was laying there in the bed saying, God, if you take me today, I didn't do half of what I said I wanted to do. God, I don't even have my what they call it, what they call it, bucket, whatever you call that bucket. I said, there's nothing in mine. I'm just going to have to go on home to be with the Lord. And I was upset with myself. You mean to tell me you've been on this earth for 50 years, Dolores Jones, 5 decades, and all you can show for it are bills? Are you telling me you? So I had to stop telling the same story. And we're going to talk about that. You got to change your narrative. Now, most of you know my story. Born to a 15-year-old mother. She was deceased by the time she was 21. I was 5 years old. I have 2 younger brothers. Welfare, all of that. But going into 2021, I said, Dolores, that's not all of your story. Focus on where you are today. And sometimes in Facebook, they give you those old posts and they come back up, your memories, and you get to decide if you're going to show them again. And so one of my old posts came up and it started with, I lost my mother when I was this. And I said, no, that's not how we're going to lead this time. You're going to lead differently. You're going to lead differently. You're going to talk about who you are today. And then you can talk about how you got there. But you're not going to lead with the pain. You're going to lead with your purpose. So you have to tell the story. Even what's the guy's name? Hold on, Lord help me. Tyler Perry said the same thing. When he first got into doing what he was doing, he was telling about the struggles and the pain of Black women. And he said after he made so much money and had Medea, he said, wait a minute, I can't just keep going on this story because I got to change the narrative. I'm capable of telling other stories. I'm capable of doing other things. But for some of us, we just want to hold on. We just want to hold on to dear life to that one story. That one skill. Girl, I heard you could. Girl, that's all I can do. I can fry this chicken. And if that's your superpower, you know how to fry chicken, then go head on. But why don't you make yourself available, become a chef or open your own restaurant, take it to another level. I can't be mad at you. You got to know what your superpower is. What's your superpower? We're going to do another video called What's Your Superpower? Because I got to thinking about that today when I wanted to throw up. Dolores, yes, Dolores. Yes, your comeback coach. I was having a moment because we get comfortable. And then when it's time to come on up, you be like, I know I want this dream. I want this dream. Bam. Okay, I changed my mind. I don't want the dream anymore. I don't want the dream because people stop talking to me and I don't have the same friends anymore. And I don't like this. And people ask me, who do you think you are to have a dream? And I just want to be like everybody else, but you're not like everybody else. So why would you do that to yourself? I mean, why would you do that to yourself? Well, because, you don't want to feel uncomfortable. But let me tell you something. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Booyah. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable, baby. Okay? You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I had to burn my grave clothes when I was laying there on that sick bed. And I was like, Jesus, I'm just so sick. He said, burn your grave clothes, huh? I came to interrupt your pity party. Burn your grave clothes. Yes. You sitting there looking at medicine. Get rid of the medicine. Look to your future. Look at my word. I told you that you shall live and not die. Do you think COVID is more powerful than me? No. Then you need to act like it. Get rid of all that black stuff you wearing. Get up right now. Even if you don't feel like it, because you ain't gonna never feel like it. Put on some nice, colorful clothes and get up out of there. Well, I was trying to find a video of people who actually survived it. Make the doggone video. And that's exactly what I did. So today, as I was dealing with the ghosts of regret that were hovering over my bed, I said, get up and get pretty, girl. I said, okay, what you gonna do? I'm gonna take myself to lunch. I'm gonna take myself to dinner. And I'm going dancing with my friend, Dana. I'm headed to the plaza. I done made my reservations. First, I'm gonna stop at the hair store. I gotta get the stuff together. In this moment, you can decide to kiss regret goodbye. Or you can decide to repeatedly do things that are not bringing you what it is you desire and you deserve. There is a reason that only 1% of the population owns most of the money. Now, we do know there's institutional racism. Don't even trip with that. We know that there are things that got their foot on our neck, as Reverend Al Sharpton said, and Oprah said it too. And I understand that. When I was in college, I was going, getting my bachelor's of broadcast journalism. And I auditioned to be on TV, and they told me I missed it by 1 point. So that first semester, I said, well, let me see what they think is excellent. And I looked up, I saw women with blonde hair and blue eyes. And one dropped the camera, started talking about, oh my God, it's a dog. They didn't take her off TV. So the next semester, I did it again. I went and applied. And they said, oh, we're sorry. You missed it again. I said, no, listen. I pay you my money here at this university to make my mistakes. And I saw what you thought was perfection, and I was not impressed. Well, are you saying that you want us to put you on TV because you're black? I said, no, you're going to put me on TV because I'm qualified and I happen to be black. And now another thing. Now, by that time, you like, yeah. I said, and another thing. I'm not just speaking for me. I'm speaking for every other person of color that's going to come up in this TV station and be threatened by your title and your system. Baby, they put me on TV. I was like, good afternoon. I'm Dolores Jones with KOMU TV. And honey, I butchered it sometimes. I was horrible from the pressure. And I remember Dr. Bill Silcox, who was still one of my friends, my professor from back in the day. We went to commercial break. He said, Dolores Jones. I said, yes, Mr. Silcox, I suck. He said, I want you to remember me when you're famous. I'm famous? I just butchered this newscast. He didn't say nothing about it. He said, I want you to remember me when you're famous. Why? Being successful requires grit and guts and tenacity. I don't care if you went to Texas A&M or Harvard. There are a lot of people who got degrees from Harvard and they're probably somewhere sitting down, and there's some that went to Harvard and they're sitting up under a bridge. God bless them, Jesus keep them, okay? Get your comeback. Do whatever is necessary. Kiss, regret, goodbye. Good riddance. Arrivederci. I'll holler at you later. In fact, don't come back at my house again. Don't you ever come back over here again. See, you got to give it all you got when you got it. Because see, there are days when I just don't feel like getting out of bed. That's a part of it. But since I'm out today, I might as well give it all I got, baby. This is a complete turnaround from yesterday and the day before that. And I'm grateful and thankful. So I want to thank y'all for joining me. I'm feeling it. I'm just all up in it. Hey, 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 hey. I'm just doing it. They said, if you knew what I've been through, you would be dancing too. I can't wait to go to church. Because y'all know what? I'm ready to go to church and dance with the saints. Now, I can dance by myself, but it's something about dancing with the saints of the Most High. The saints of the Most High. They be like, she just ran around the church. You better go with her. I'm telling the truth, ain't I? Ava. Ava know what I'm talking about. Won't he do it? Yes, baby, he did it. And you need to tell me about what he did so he can do it for me. Come on. I love Jesus. You love Jesus? I love Jesus. What did one of the Mary, one of them said, I need just a little more Jesus. I need just a little more Jesus. I said, Lord, I do need a little more Jesus. I don't want to hit nobody, Lord, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. I don't want to do it, Jesus. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. All right, peoples. Here is your challenge today. I would like for you to pick something that you're going to do for yourself today. For yourself. Something that you can do so that you don't regret not doing it. And see, here's the thing. You got to keep your word to yourself. You got to keep your commitment to yourself. And that's why I had to go eat. Because yesterday I said, God, you know what? I'm going to get up early in the morning. I'm going to get myself together. I'm going to take and drop Bella off at the doggy daycare. And I'm going to go treat myself out and have a good time. I'm going to, go to this restaurant, and then I'm going to do this. And I'm going to go dance and blah, blah, blah. Right? Child, I woke up, Vera. I looked outside. I said, oh, Jesus, I'll try it tomorrow. Nope. It's a no. You're going to get your happy hips up right now. And you're going to get in that shower and you're going to do what you said you're going to do. I am. Yes, you are. Because you're keeping your word to yourself. That's how you build credibility. Can you depend on you? Baby, that's a question right there. Can you depend on you? Everybody else wants to depend on you, but can you depend upon you? Can you depend upon yourself to be better, to do better, to want more, to grow, to live, to thrive, to dream, to accomplish everything that your heart desires because you are capable? It's in there. There's a commercial. What is that? Ragu or Pregu? It said, it's in there. You mean there's onions in there? It's in there. Bell peppers? It's in there. Oregano? It's in there. Rosemary? It's in there. It's in there. Hey, Dorian, I love you, girl. I love seeing new people, and I love seeing people I went to high school with because they know I ain't lying. You know, some people start making up stories. And I was on the cloud and I jumped off and my wings start flying. No, you want people in your life that can respect your struggle. You don't forget them. Those are your people you keep in your corner. You know, those are the people you say, let her through. Those are the people you have at the front row. You put them other people back in the nosebleed section where they got to have binoculars. Am I telling the truth? Y'all put in there, you telling the truth. Put in the comments, you telling the truth. Am I telling the truth? You telling the truth. You telling the truth. And if you don't want to write all that, say amen. How about that? Or yep. Y-E-P. Give you three letters. Y, E, and a P. All right? Let's see what somebody said, because this was a breakthrough. So Shakita said, I almost didn't do my 15 minutes of walking. I made myself commit to my commitment. So glad I did. I know if I didn't, I would have fell off again. So I'm so proud of myself. I'm speaking over my life. The best is yet to come. Girl, you better do it. You better do it. I'm rooting for you. Somebody said, yep. Vera said, you telling the truth. Or Dorian said, you telling the truth. Carlton said, yep, it's the truth now. It's the truth. I'm about to go straight Baptist preacher style on y'all. And I write about it. Pastor Desmond Lamb. And I write about it. I said, yes, you write about it. You keep saying it over and over again. How many times are you going to ask me if you write about it? All right, y'all, I'm out at this time. Okay, I might even hit y'all up in the restaurant. You just never know. Dolores Jones is my name. I'm your comeback coach. I show you how to bounce back better, not bitter, through life experiences and bad decisions. Make sure you hit like and share. Okay, share the video. Subscribe to Dolores Jones TV. Hit the notification button so you'll know, like, bam, she's there for me. Okay, YouTube, Facebook, keep on following me, baby. Keep on. You telling the honest truth. What they say, praise God. You telling the truth and nothing but the truth. So help you, God. Good goobly goo. Sometimes you just got to find they say there's a praise on the inside. Sometimes you just got to find a laugh. Some of y'all just too serious. You're like constipated. You need some prune juice or something. You need prune juice in your life. I pray over you. Prune juice in your life. You need prune juice in your life. Camille said, yes, speak on it. I'm trying, honey. I want to make it rain in here. How about y'all hit me up? Y'all got my links there. If you appreciate what you're hearing and listening to, and you say, I want to be a part of that. I want to spread the message of hope. Then you hit the links for my PayPal and my Cash App. Listen, asking it shall be given. Seeking you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open unto you. I'm getting ready to open this door and I'm going into this hair store. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Mwah. Let's hit it again. Let's talk again soon. Can we do that? Okay. Can we do that? Can we do that? No more ghosts of regret, baby. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.